own environment for this meeting. Dude, it's next week. So.
It's not loading. No. Whoa.
Oh.
What?
Maybe just follow the link that you originally sent in this. If you don't do it.
It was there for a second.
Yeah. I'd love to see it.
It's loading, I guess. Google Slides, my beloved. This is supposed to be the attendance QR code, so.
My work.
Well, my image is loaded. No, not so. Don't just load.
What is going on?
Look the link, maybe it'll link.
No, it's not uBlock. But then it pops up for like a second.
What is that?
Oh, there we
There
go.
it is.
All right, here's the attendance code.
That was what opened my. It's still
It'd be greatly appreciated. You know what?
Me too. Yeah. We see it there. You know, gotta support it. Or if I ever wants to do things in one's face, then that's.
Oh jeez.
What the hell? She was tracking the wheel.
Common problem. I wish.
So are we gonna follow the slides first and then demo it, or just demo it as you get this slide?
Probably demo it as we get through this slide. Just like 3 separate sections, kind of.
I don't know. I think mine was supposed to come.
All right, so this meeting we're gonna be going over Homelab services, just some common Homelab services you can set up on pretty much any device. Could be, most of them are gonna be Linux. You can do it on Windows, but it's a lot easier on Linux. You can even do it on your own laptop if you wanted to. Well, some of them you'd want to, but why would you want to make a Homelab? Are you paranoid of everything? Do you value your privacy and your security? That would be a good reason to make a Homelab. Do you like to save money? That's not a good reason to say it, or to make a Homelab. You will not save money. And do you like to learn? That's probably the best reason to make a Homelab, is so you can learn about how different technologies work together and how to set up these services. What kind of services can you self-host in a Homelab? You can pretty much self-host anything. This is just a short list. You can make password managers. There's Vault Warden out there. Video and music vaults. Not like piracy stuff, more like if you have the files, then you can put them in these vaults and they'll be available from the network. Minecraft servers. I'm sure you've all played on a Minecraft server before. You know how that works. Email servers. I don't know if I'd recommend email servers, but because then they might get flagged by different companies. But I'd stick to the basics on that one. You can do sync notes, which I think we'll talk about, which is really nice if you don't like using like OneNote and those common ones. Ad blockers, that's a big one. If you're on any website, you're going to get ads, and not all of them are blocked with, say, like uBlock and things like that. like different browser extensions, so you can block them network wide via Pi-hole or different services. IoT monitoring. There's a lot of tools that can interface well with your IoT devices, whether that's LED lights, different smart TVs at home, and you can really manage them well through there. VPNs are pretty common. You can, not quite how you normally think about VPNs. Normally you think about VPNs because you're trying to get out of the country, like, or not get out of the country, but you're trying to make it look like you're out of the country so you can access, like, I don't know, anime on, yeah.
Oh.
Anime is available on Netflix in Japan, but not in the United States. I don't watch anime personally, so I wouldn't know that.
Sure.
But things like that, or it's going to be mostly like VPNs back to your home. So you would have, if you have a server at home, you can VPN back to your server, and you don't have to have it whirring up in your dorm, just making noise. I mean, some of you do.
Okay, listen.
I don't anymore. And then cookbooks. Apparently, you can like self-host your cookbooks. So the first service we're gonna go over is Pi-hole. This is one of those network-wide ad blockers I was talking about. So what it does is it scans DNS requests. DNS is like, you'll type in a website, say google.com. It sends that name to a server and then kind of asks, okay, what's the IP of that name? Where can I actually find that computer? And it'll send you back like a whole bunch of numbers. You're not going to remember them. But how this works is it filters all of those requests and only allows you to see the locations of certain websites. That's up to you, whether it's you're trying to block different websites that are malware, known malware, or different ads, things like that. It's fully customizable. You can find lots of maintained TXT files of different domains out there on the internet. It's fully open source. There's a nice web UI. And on top of that, you can add things like PyVPN, which interfaces well with Pi-hole, just a VPN back to that machine. And you can kind of set it up via Docker, or if it's on an existing OS, not in Docker. We're gonna each talk about one service, and then we'll kind of go into depth about how that service works and set it up. So I want you guys to, if you haven't already, go to the DefSec channel on the Discord and click the button. Oh, it's not working. DefSec bot. Is anyone's actually loading, or is it all just saying DefSec is thinking? Wonderful. Braden, is this a known issue? DefSec bot isn't working. It's just thinking.
It seems like less than an issue. I don't know if I can see that. Let's try.
Yeah, the other thing is like that bot basically like it kind of just have to like check it randomly because randomly it kills itself.
Oh, wonderful.
I want to fix the stable.
Well, I guess we'll wait. Oh, yeah, they're all failing. I don't know why they're failing.
Is it like people hitting that?
No, well, that wasn't the issue the first time. That was just internet. I think that was more internet. We can try that. I guess what we can do is we can set them up on a demo. Yeah, we'll just demo it from up here then, since there's issues. I don't know if you can see the actual problems. All right, so right here we have Ubuntu server. This is kind of going to be the server where we're going to put all these services at. And Pi-hole is pretty easy to install. You just have to go to the Pi-hole website and run a single command, and then it's kind of just an interactive process to set it up. Just I can tell IA Lab's having some fun.
Are you not lagging?
Well, there's like trying to make 20 templates and they're all failing. And so iLab's trying to figure that out, but at the same time, it's trying to get me out to the internet to do this lab.
Did you do the captive portal?
You don't have to do captive portal in DefSec. No.
Oh, I see. I see.
All right, so one-step automated install, I just recommend this. It's so much simpler than all these other ones. You just have to copy and paste it, the curl command, into your browser.
So I can fix the bot, but I have to power off your VM. You can't make that templates powered on VMs due to a very weird bug in VMware that they won't fix because we're out of date.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I have everything snapped out of powered off.
Yeah. We'll just do this service and then we'll fix it while we're talking about the next services, and then you guys can work on those ones as well. So this is the Pi-hole automated installer. You just have to kind of click OK. Again, it's on a server, so you're going on a static IP address, so it just doesn't change. Wonderful. You have to select your DNS provider, and then there's a default third-party list for different ad blocking. It's kind of default. We'll use it. You'll want to set up the admin interface because it's a lot easier to use than the command line. And then you can set the privacy mode. I recommend showing everything just so it's easier to administer from the web UI, and then you can actually see the traffic. So it's kind of scary to see all the traffic that's running out of your network and out of your network, but it's nice. Just don't use it for bad purposes, I guess. I don't know if you're like have it running on your home network and just want to see what your family's looking at. You don't want to do that. So it's just going to set up the PHP server with that web admin interface. Then there's our password. Except I forgot the password, so we're gonna have to do this. Well, I didn't forget it, just like when I zoomed out and on full screen, then I got rid of it. So we're gonna blank for no password. So basically here you can see all the traffic that's going through your network. All these domains, you can see what's on your list. Like for example, here are some of the domains it's gonna block. It all black holes then to the 0000 IP, which doesn't send it anywhere. And so all these, if it checks against this list, different domains you're looking for that you type in your search bar, and if it matches one of these, then it black holes it and you can't reach it. But you can also do cool things like well, usually you'll see different domains that are being reached. Like if you set this as your home DNS server in your network, it'll show the different times, the domains people are looking up, what clients they're on, and whether or not they get blocked, things like that. So if I went to show you a practical example, here's my own Pi-hole instance. Have not all of the devices on my Wi-Fi, but some of them use this as their DNS server and kind of talk to it, and it blocks different queries. Obviously it's not a lot. There isn't a ton to show there, but if you look here, I have a switch trying to reach out to Dell.com, and I just blocked that because I feel like it should. And
See, Dell switch.
yeah, it's a Dell switch. Oh. But yeah, you can see, okay, it wasn't blocked, and this is the time, the domain, everything like that. So it's a nice service where you can do all of those things. It's pretty configurable. Like I said, you can add a VPN server onto it pretty easy. It's that same easy process. You can take down that template, or Braden, you can take down that template and then snapshot it if you want. Another service, just quickly go over because he's going to go over another one. An alternative, it's called Get Homepage. It's basically just a customizable homepage. So like when you open your browser, it'll open up to this and it'll show you, okay, these are your other services that you're running. This is the status of different API things like that. So it's all configurable via like a YAML file, which is very similar to how Docker does it. You can set it up via Docker, Kubernetes, on RAID. But here's some examples. Like you'll see this person has a search bar at the top to Google. You've got different links they use a lot in the top left corner. Or Proxmox servers, how many VMs are running, things like that. And like I said, it interfaces well with different APIs, so you can see all the information about each service. So it's pretty nice. And then
Braid, how long is it going to take to get the template working? Okay. All right, so this is SyncThing. It's just a real-time file synchronization app, and it's really useful for if you're trying to either transfer or access the same files, whether it be like notes, pictures, videos, music, really any files. And then this is it on my Homelab because I just have the one file because I don't really need to transfer files that often. So it's for notes. And then you can share across multiple computers if you want. You can do different folders on the different computers. And there's not really that much more that I know of to sync thing. But
it's just a pretty simple service to sync your
yeah.
notes.
You wanna wait until
Is it all done, Braden? Maybe we'll just wait till the end.
okay.
Yeah, you can talk about the next one.
Okay. If you start setting up a home lab, you'll soon realize that it's depending on how many services you run, it can get like a lot really fast. And so dashboards kind of offer like a way to just have all your services compiled in like one nice, easy area. This is what Heimdall does. It's honestly pretty nice to use because it offers a lot of like customizable like options. Like it just looks nice. It's also pretty easy to use and even set up. Like it wasn't terribly complicated and it is pretty like self-explanatory. It's also just pretty much got a lot of functionality things. So like it has really good like supports app integration and things like that. And these are just some of the specific services that it works well with, like sonar, radar, flex, things like that. But yeah. So we wait for that to set up.
All right. Do you guys have any questions about any of those? We'll try to do an interactive demo here. Sorry for the issues. Yeah, you can click that new button, get rid of the old one. Oh, and here's an instance of my homepage as well. You can see I have it set up for my pie hole. Over here it tells me the amount of queries, the amount that are blocked, and how many are in the block lists. Over here it's Proxmox. We talked about that in the meeting. How many VMs are running, different CPU resources, things like that. Oh, Llama, the amount of chats I've got running. You can also add different calendar features and different links. Yeah. So. Oh, wonderful.
Still okay.
We'll get there eventually. Oh my goodness.
We love IA Lab.
Is there like a bulk delete? I forgot you had to delete them before making a template.
There's a surprising amount of weight. Random stuff I have to get rid of.
Then there's one more step you have to do before you power it on. Or yeah, probably before you power it on. You're going to have to go to the network interface settings. And then go to the virtual machines. And click on pfSense. Let me know when you all get there. Well, there's an issue right now with IA Lab where it doesn't like the MAC addresses. There's some issue with VMware. So you're going to want to reset the NICs that have information on them. If anyone's having issues, just ask. It's confusing, trust me. You want to click save and then you can power on your V app. Just something weird with VMware now, Broadcom, and fun things like that.
My favorite company.
Because it makes identical MAC addresses for every template, and then so we're all trying to access DHCP server with identical MAC addresses, and so they all throw a fit, and you can't access the internet.
That's the other reason that they don't start at VM powered on. It requires a tech data called fence VMs, which we solve both of these issues. It's only available in a VM a version of VM VTOP VM.
So it looks like a good amount of you done it. Is anyone having issues still? Okay, we'll power it on, and then John and Will show up there too. Services. And I can show off homepage as well if we have time. Go crazy. All right.
Good.
Yeah, whenever you get powered on.
There we go. All right. So for sync thing, we're gonna power on the server one because I already set up the client side on the client one, just because it's the same install and I don't want to do it twice. And then the password's just gonna be password one bang. Yep. All right. Then once we're in, I should have already bookmarked it in Firefox. Hopefully it's still there. Yep, there it is. So you're just gonna need to open a new tab, and then it's gonna be in the sync thing download. And then it's just gonna be a lot of copying and pasting. So we're just gonna open up a terminal. Then it's just gonna be significant amounts of copy pasting. And then sort of bang. And then curl should already be pre-installed, but if it's not, it's just sudo apt install curl. Why did that open? Yeah, that sounds about right. And then after copy paste everything, it's just sudo apt get update to update the policies that we added. Then it's just gonna be a sudo apt get install sync thing.
Is everyone okay?
And then we still need to start syncing because we only downloaded it. And then so it's gonna be this isn't on the website, but it's gonna be sudo system ctl enable tac now. Then it's gonna be sync thing at dsu.service. And then you should be able to go to your browser, just do localhost on port 8384. And then, is everyone good up to this point? So then we just need to set it up real quick. So it's just going to be hit the settings on the default. Then on the GUI, we're going to need to do two things. First, we're just going to need to set up a authenticate user. I'm just going to just do DSU password 1bang again. And then we also need to do the listen address just so we can access it from other computers on the network. We just need to set it all to zeros. And then just need to log in again. Save that. Do you remember the IP for the client?
.100.
Okay. So then this is the computer we are currently on. The same thing on the other computer should already hopefully be pre-installed. What's the second or was the third one? One. Okay. So it should be 198 or 192 dot 168.1.100 on 8384. And then I promise it's probably not malicious. And then it should just be DSU and password 1bang again. All right, good. All right. So now we have sync things set up on both of our computers, but to actually get it to share, we need to add remote device. So on one of them, it doesn't really matter which one, you need to go to settings and then get the share code. And then on the other one, you just need to hit add remote device, put in the device ID, and then you just need to put in any name, doesn't really matter. And then we're going to need to come back over here. Then we're going to need to accept that we want to be on we want to be able to sync with them. And it'll take a minute for them both to stay connected. And now we just need to add a shared file. So in this one, this is on the client. We'll just name it, let's do documents. And then should be, I'm trying to remove the file path. Oops. Oh, wait, yep, oh, you're right. Document. And then this should be on the client machine. And we should be able to share it with the DSU virtual machine. And now on this machine, we should be able to, if we ls, why is it not working? Oh wait, I forgot I need to accept it on this one. Now it should be right there. Yep. And now we can CD into the docs. And now we can just make any file we want. I mean, oh my god. Just I'll just nano test then. Just gibberish, Control S, Control X. And now if we go to the other machine, oh, where?
Down.
Okay.
On the client?
Yeah, if we go into the client, we should be able to go into the documents folder and see that the test file we created is there.
I don't want you knowing the password. You'll never guess it.
Password 7 ampersand. We're going to go to the documents folder. And then our file's that.
What? Crazy. Wow.
That's basically sync thing. The only problem you'll run into is if you get disconnected somehow from the other machine, you might run into merge errors. But it should be fine because it should keep a backup of the unmerged one and then the thing one it thinks is the current one.
So they both have local copies, but
They
then-
should.
Okay. So that's probably the difference between that and like a Samba share or
Yeah.
something like that. Nice.
And then this is also very easy setup in crossbar.
Yeah, that was really easy.
That was simple.
Do you want to go?
Yeah. Is this the client? Okay, it's the client. Yeah, I have most of mine pre-set up or at least simplified, so there's less copying and pasting.
So
on
this
the
is
client.
this is Heimdall. This is the homepage.
Yes. This would be where you compile like services that you have already pre-set up. I think I already added that.
So if you haven't done any of the other services, you can start now.
So you should have this file, this Docker Compose YML file, and that's a pretty simple script. Actually, I can show you where I found it. Do we have our slides open? I think I saved the link. Yeah, so you can just basically look up how to set up Heimdall and on like any sort of like browser, and you should. I just found it on this website. It's yeah, right here for Docker Compose. It just gives you this like simple little script that pretty much sets up most of it. Oh, I've lost the client. There we go. But I just copy and pasted it over already, so we don't have to worry about it. This is where finds the services, gives the service a name. This is the Docker image path. It gives it the container a name. Then it has some environmental variables like your user ID and group ID. And then this sets the time zone. The time zone's wrong, but I didn't think it mattered that much for this demonstration to change it. This is the path. So this sets up the config file, which it's already set up, but because I've run it before, but I can show you that in a second. And then this sets its default ports, so HTTP and HTTPS. And then this sets the restart policy, which means it'll keep restarting unless you stop it, which keeps it keeps a better uptime. I think so. I've already created this directory called Heimdall, but I'm just gonna move this one. I forget my path. Okay. So you just want to move that file into Heimdall real quick. Okay. Did I?
You're already
No.
in that directory.
Oh, that's why. Flipped it around. Okay. And then you'll see that there's. Bruh. This is not going well. Fun. Okay. Okay. Why is it? Okay. Now we should be fine. Bruh. Alright. So now you can just run it with this command here just to launch the container. And I'm not sudo. All right. Yes.
Listen.
Do you want us to use Windows Homelab things?
There we go. So now it's running. So now you just want to get your IP address.
That's true.
Um,
Docker desktop.
find it. It's right here.
If I can't do all this on a touchscreen, I don't want to do it.
That's an opinion.
Touchscreen keyboard.
It is an opinion.
There we go. I just want to specify that port again. So love to see it. What did I do? I may have used. I don't think it should matter, but
I think it should be the 100.
I thought so. Oh, did I not? I swore I specified the port. That's not gonna work either because I didn't.
You have to specify the.
You should, otherwise it doesn't work. Hence why it is.
Is there a slash something? Yeah, you might have to change the config path. Go and nano the Docker. Right. You'll want to change it to the actual.
It worked before. I don't know why it's being goofy now. Yeah, that's no, it's not a good. It's just
Easier.
Everything is the default for everything.
No setup required.
All right, so now I should probably take it down.
You can do sudo 2 exclamation points.
I don't mess with Docker, and it doesn't mess with me.
Oh, that's
We're just coexisting with it in that one box.
Enter.
Says Docker is going to be knocking at your door.
No.
You're going to open it and you're not.
It just runs the same command as sudo.
Why do we have it?
12 times the guy.
I'll take my chances.
Yeah, I don't have to deal with Docker because I have to abstract it through Mix instead, and I just use Mix to let me do it.
Okay.
It's turned off right now.
Oh, I didn't. Never mind.
Yeah, remove it first.
Configuration.
My Homelab is genuinely like it's a VM with a singer.
Okay, I might as well just get rid of this point.
Yeah. Single Docker compose stack image.
Okay. Hopefully. It's because you reach out to HTTPS.
It's not like 7 layers deep virtualized. I don't want it.
It's the one we were running.
Okay, finally.
Yeah.
Now we got it working. So there's obviously nothing here. We don't have any services, but if you wanted to set that up, you can do all kinds of things in here. Like you can configure your user, your password, whatever, so that way you can access it and people just can't log in. If you wanted to add an application, just add one here. You can specify the type. I think it has a bunch of like already like pre-configured options.
Yeah, if you put in, you go to the application name and you just type in like most common ones, it'll just change the icon to what it thinks it is. So if you do
Okay.
like Proxmox, I know it has one. And then it should change the icon. Even though,
It's not, but
Let's look at it in the drop down.
yeah, probably.
I bring it from the name.
You might also pull it from the references or two.
Yeah.
so if we had the URL, you could put it in there and then that would how it would reach it, but I might put one too. There we go. So yeah, it's mostly just pretty customizable. It's pretty simple. Like that's pretty much all there is to it. It's kind of nice because it's very simplistic.
It's nice.
But yeah, that's about it.
Does anyone have any questions or anything? We can, or any services you want us to set up real quick, just because. No thanks. No, not that either.
Stuff. Server and all are stacked.
We don't have anything to watch on the Plex server though. Oh. Plex is a media server, like I was talking about. We'll leave it
We
at
could
that.
be like, gonna try to run the Home Alone 2 file again.
Let's go. You can watch Home Alone 2.
With Donald Trump.
Like 3 pixels.
All right.
Pixel trend.
So that's pretty much everything for this meeting. Thank you guys for coming. Next week I'll be doing a hands-on Juniper lab, so we'll bring a whole bunch of Juniper switches in here, and you guys will be able to play around with them. I'll have a little bit of a networking lesson with that next Wednesday. I don't know what we're doing next Tuesday. After the Tuesday, I'm
The
doing that.
next computer club thing.
But tomorrow, I think they're doing hardware hacking again in CTF Club if you guys want to go to that. Oh, sweet. Sounds cool. Sounds cool. Well, thank you guys for coming tonight. Feedback if you have it.